Hi everyone, with this video I want to explore the impact of disruptive innovations on competition law. For that, I first need to answer the following question: what is disruptive innovation? According to the definition given by Clayton Christensen, disruptive innovation fulfill the two following criteria. First, they are creating a new market. Second, and most importantly perhaps, they are initially less efficient than the existing products and services on the market. Above me, you can see a few examples of such disruptive innovations. When the cell phone appeared, it was of a lesser quality than an existing phone, knowing that the sound quality was very poor. Similarly, when the smartphone appears, Nokia thought that they will never make it as touchscreen were not working properly. It follows that if one of those two elements is missing, we are not facing a disruptive innovation. For that precise reason, Uber is not a disruptive innovation, as the company provided us with a service which was not of a lesser quality than existing alternatives. Now, of course, the question becomes, who is creating disruptive innovation? Generally speaking, they are coming from small companies rather than large companies. Two reasons explain it. First, small companies can afford to attract only a tiny portion of the market, when on the contrary, large companies need to generate large benefits to please their shareholders and cover their expenses. Second of all, small companies may have no prior product on the market, meaning that their willingness to cannibalize the market is actually way higher than the one of large companies with existing products and services. So, what does it mean for competition law? First, one may want to define relevant market by taking into consideration non-substitute. Let me take DALL-E as an example. When looking for a picture representing a mural of a blue pumpkin using existing bank images, the results are disappointing. On the contrary, using DALL-E, one may simply give the order to generate those pictures. This shows that non-substitute may create a strong competitive pressure that competition agencies may want to take into account when defining the market. Now, in terms of anti-competitive practices, whether we talk about collusion or abuses of dominant position, one may suspect that incumbents will try to implement such practices to actually prevent disruptors from entering the market. But of course, it will be hard for them to do so when identifying disruptors is actually a tricky exercise. Accordingly, competition agencies may want to analyze if the incumbent owns the infrastructure, which will prove necessary for the disruptor to eventually put out a new product or service on the market. When this is the case, the incumbent may indeed wait for the disruptor to reveal itself and then only implement an anti-competitive practice. And third, we should discuss merger control. Several proposals are currently put on the table to enable competition agencies to identify killer acquisitions. The elephant remains in the room, however. How can we identify when incumbents are about to acquire a potential disruptor? For that, I contend that we have no choice but to have a look at the dynamic capability of the technologies being acquired. Finally, the subject of disruptive innovation brings regulation to the table. Disruption is a process, a movement, and for that reason, one may want to explore evolutionary economics. It entails first to focus on the creation of wealth rather than solely the distribution of it. Second, not to assume equilibrium on the market, nor to assume that agents know rationally how to act. And third, to study the layers of digital markets and their interaction with each other. On that note, thank you very much for your attention.